Hi, everybody. We have here with us Marina Shepelsky, a divorce attorney, a participating attorney on JurisQ.com, a legal network. And we bring you different questions on law, on relationships. And Marina is a great source because Marina is a divorce attorney who's so experienced, has seen it all, she has heard it all. So let me ask you, from your experience, from what you heard, from your clients, from their ex-spouses, what are people's worst excuses on why they cheated?
So if you're like me, you probably love to watch those TV shows, those TV judges who do like divorces and things like that. My personal hero is Judge Judy, right?
Oh, yeah.
And when I was in law school at Fordham, I went to Fordham Law School, right? One day I was in the library looking for some materials and I came across her book, right? I actually didn't know she had books because I knew her from TV. I didn't know that she wrote books, right? So I took her book and I got so excited. I sat down and I started reading it right on the spot. And I spent like an hour reading her stuff. She used to be a family court judge in New York. And she was really great. And this is how she got to be on TV, because the things that she used to say are like pearls. They become memes, right? They become like phrases that people will repeat over and over.
Yeah, she's definitely very
And
sharp.
the name of this book, yeah, and so she's my like hero, right? Her and Judge Ruth Bader Ginsburg,
Yep.
Right? So I even have like stuff here around my desk with her stuff. But anyway, basically the book's name is "Don't Pee on My Leg and Tell Me It's Raining." That's one of her favorite things. So when people talk about their excuses for cheating, that's the kind of thing that Judge Judy would say, and that's usually the kind of reaction that I'm going to have. So I prepared like 5 today, right? And I'm going to tell you the excuse, and then I'm going to tell you my like comment to it, and feel free to chime in too, right? We want to make it more interesting, right? You and I decided, let's not just talk about boring court divorces. Right. You come to us, you call our office, there'll be plenty of that. We will bore you to death with discovery and answers and, you know, all of that. But let's not talk about that here. So the 5 worst excuses for cheating that usually men use, but sometimes women too, right? Okay, number 1. It's my animal instinct. Men are polygamous. It's in my nature. I cannot control it, right? So what do I say to this? What would you say? Let's start with you, Mike. What would you say to this?
I would say that it has some truth to it, because originally, of course, as animals, I read, for example, that lions at once have 4 lionesses at once, and every man wants to consider himself a lion, right? So I can see how that it could have some validity.
Right. So that's a common explanation, but by men. But what I would say to you is this: let's say you are in a traffic jam and you really have to go to the bathroom. Do you just go in your car, or have you learned to control your animal instinct and actually wait until you get home and you use the bathroom, right? You control yourself, and all of us do. We learn as we grow up to control our animal instinct, because lions and people are very different. We're different species, right? We are actually not animals, right?
But
we have a soul,
we have a
choice, we have a mind.
Wants to be a lion.
I get that. And by the way, I think with lions, the lionesses are considered to be more powerful, and stronger, and they usually take care of everyone. But the lion is still the king. So our men are kings, but they should learn to control their instincts. Just like you learn, if you're hungry, you wait until you get to your house, or you buy a sandwich at Starbucks. Somebody's walking by you with a slice of pizza, you don't like run up to them, grab their pizza and eat it. To hell with them. I have an animal instinct, I'm hungry. You learn to control it. So that is my response. You're a human being with a brain, learn to control it.
Okay,
so that's the number 1.
Would you say, since you put me on the spot, I'm gonna put you on the spot now. So would you say then you should try to treat your man as if he is your king, and in return, he'll give you his undivided loyalty. Is
That's
that a
true.
good advice?
I actually believe that. But without putting all jokes aside, I believe that. I believe,
There you go.
and again, you to be our client, you don't have to agree with me, right? We live in a free country, so I'm entitled to my opinion. I think that a man has a place in the family, and so does a woman. I think in a healthy marriage, the man is the king and the woman is the queen, and the woman looks up to the man, because why else do you need a husband?
They work
right?
in tandem and they rule
Yeah,
over
everyone
their
does their job.
universe together. Nice.
Right.
Okay.
And
Number two.
the man is the defender, the woman is the caretaker, even if sometimes in our society, the women make more money. So what? You know, we still have our DNA, we still have our roles. I'm not one of those people who believes in 3 genders or more. I still think there's 2 genders. You know, it doesn't mean that I don't think people should have good health coverage and, you know, be allowed to be who they are. I'm just saying there's 2 genders, you know?
Yeah, I agree with you. You should be in the modern society, but still respect some traditional roles
Tradition.
and traditions. I think that should be a perfect mix.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
what is the second worst possible excuse you heard for cheating?
But it was only that one time. It was just the one time.
Okay.
So they say, look, like, you know, 99.99% of the time, out of all the days, out of all the years you and I have been married, this one little incident, I slipped, I fell, and I cheated, right? It was just the one time. Forgive me, right? But so my response to that is more serious than the first one, because this is like something that's more, I would say, like fundamental and less ridiculous, you know? The one-time argument is valid. You know, you could say that the men are more like sexual about cheating. Women always look for a relationship even when they're cheating. Men are more like into, you know, just have
and we
sex.
had a whole different segment about it.
Yeah.
How men sometimes and women are different. That for women it could be more emotional cheating, more could be as a revenge, whereas by men it's usually more sexual. And you can catch that on our other episode. I'm sorry.
That's
go ahead.
right. That's right. So the fact that it was a one time, I think that there's a more fundamental problem there, and that's probably that the man is feeling unsatisfied in some ways, maybe not just sexually, you know, and that there are other issues. Otherwise, you know, if they're happy and satisfied and like in their best, you know, in their best, living their best life, as we say, as my kids would say, right? It just wouldn't happen. It's the same for men and women.
You know, if I may chime in, I believe also it has to do with opportunity. If you know, for example, that you hang out with your friends who are prone to cheat, and you go to spots like nightclubs where you could meet somebody for a one-night stand, maybe you should, if you're serious about controlling your urges and you want your relationship to work, maybe you should stay away from such places and such friends. What do you think? Good idea?
Yeah, I mean, our society puts a lot of pressure on men and women. Men have their own pressures, right? So it's become like a traditional thing that men go on these bachelor parties where they're expected to get strippers and hookers, right? I would be very offended if my, you know, husband did that. But it happens.
Well,
I don't know if he did or not, but it happens.
And strippers?
Strippers and then hookers. It's either one or both, but in that order. First is strippers and then hookers.
Okay, if it's just strippers, would you be offended or no?
No, me personally, no.
Okay.
No, strippers, no. But you know, a sexual act is cheating, no matter how you turn, right? So you know, if a part of your spouse's body wasn't somebody else, that's cheating. Put it this way.
That is sex.
Right, and we talked about another issue related to this in our prior show too, that emotional affairs, to me personally, are much worse, because that means there's another relationship there. And the one-time bachelor party is not that. You know, yes, it's like a one-time thing. They were at a party. It's a one-time in a lifetime. Last time, hurrah, before marriage. But, you know, I always tell my women clients and my women friends too, that like, look, you have to let him go and don't think about it. Don't text him. Don't like try to be up on him, because it just means you don't trust him. And the more you push and the more you're like jealous, the more you almost like, I don't know how to say it, but you almost like sabotage them into doing that, into cheating on you.
Mhm.
I think that it should be like more relaxed. It shouldn't be like on your husband, oh, you're having a bachelor party, you better not have, and I know people who do that. Like they'll text him every 5 minutes, they'll call him,
That's a
and
big party
they'll be like tracking his location. Oh, the worst thing that couples do that really makes me uncomfortable when I see people do is they track each other's locations on their phones.
Yeah.
I am offended by that. I never would let my husband track me on my phone.
Right,
And it's not because I don't want him to know where I'm going. He always knows where I'm going.
Mhm.
But I think it's a fundamental problem. We're grown-ups, we're not little kids. You track your kids because you want to know they're not getting drunk somewhere or getting high, right? If you have to track your spouse, an adult, then there's no trust. Then why are you with them?
Marina, you know what? There is even a worse party pooper. We talked about party poopers texting each other on during a bachelor party. I heard of an incident locally where people were having a bachelor party and strippers were ordered for the party, and somebody's wife showed up as a stripper, and the guy was there at the party. Let's just say that was a real party pooper. And
that was a real disappointment for the other guests.
Yeah. But who was not disappointed? A divorce attorney, because that's where it went afterwards. Okay, Marina, what is another excuse that you have heard about cheating?
I was trying to be a good friend to her or to him.
What does that mean?
So that means that your spouse is friends of the opposite gender.
What?
For example, he works in finance, right? Your husband works in finance. Okay. People in business and finance, they always have group projects, teams, groups. They're always working with women and men on corporate mergers and things like that, right? Mm-hmm. So they probably have a partner at work. Sometimes your husband could be a police officer. Maybe he's got a female partner. They have a partner at work, a woman, and they become friends and they become really good friends. And then all of a sudden she broke up with her boyfriend. She was crying. She's getting divorced. And somehow they ended up in a hotel together. That's what I mean when they say I was trying to be a good friend. Okay. Like he was trying to help her. He was trying to show her that, there's still men out there who would love her and find her attractive and wouldn't treat her like crap.
What a guy.
But he forgot that he's married. So again, a fundamental problem that your man, your husband, has another favorite person other than you.
I call BS on that excuse.
Right? If you're not his favorite person,
you have problems. Yep.
And that's a difficult situation to deal with because they work with someone they didn't necessarily pick that person to be partners with. It just so happened that they had to work together. What do you do? And if they did cheat, what do you do with their job? And this is really complex. And at that point, you definitely need a lawyer.
Exactly. And this is why we talked about lines. And even for today's world, for sexual harassment purposes, you should not associate with your coworker in a manner which could lead to something improper, or where you could be accused of doing something improper. You got to be very careful and always act and talk very professionally. Okay, Marina, those 5 excuses were really eye-openers for me, and I'm sure for our listeners, for our viewers. And of course, the next step is if somebody is cheating and is not reforming, then unless you want to put up with it, next step is you consult an attorney, and you consult Marina Shepelsky. We have the phone number on the bottom of the screen. And Marina, this was, I would say, one of our best segments, very interesting. And we're going to keep at it. We're going to bring you more and more.
I can talk about this more next time if you guys are interested. Sure. Write it in the comments below. Send us a message if you want to hear more excuses and more reactions from Michael and I. These excuses. And next time we'll do more legal stuff, right? We'll talk about
Yeah.
more,
Yeah, we're gonna mix-
lawyer stuff, but
We're not going
today
to do
was
just
just
dry law. We're
about
also going to bring human stories, and we're going to bring in psychology lessons, relationship lessons, and we're going to make it very, very interesting. Marina, thank you so much. Thank you everybody for listening, for tuning in. Until next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.